Hey everyone, welcome back to Beauty School Bobbi. Today we are here at the Redekn Exchange in New York City, and we are so excited to be partnering with L'Oreal Access and Lead. I hope you enjoyed this episode, and if you do, leave a like. Well, thank you so much for being with us today. I'm so excited to talk to you. So you've got a really interesting story and career path in the industry. So I kind of want to go back a little bit, if that's okay. So I want to know what your first exposure was to the beauty industry. Like, where did this start for you?
Oh my gosh. So seriously, I wanted to be a hairdresser since I was like 10 years old. Not gonna lie. I used to cut my dad's hair in the bathroom every week as my entertainment. And then I went to beauty school when I was in high school. So I was just 16 years old and I got to live my dream, and I went to school every single day. So I went to high school until 12. And then my mom picked me up every single day, and then she drove me to school at 1 to 5.
Aww.
And it took me 2 years to do it, but I was doing everything that I absolutely loved.
And this was in California.
100%.
So that's where you grew up. And
Yes.
so was your family on board for you becoming a hairstylist, or did you face like some opposition there?
So there was, my parents, I would say, were super, I would say that they definitely were supportive. I think that the rest of my family had more of the ideal thing would be to go to college and get a formal education. But I was so passionate about it for so long that they were not going to stop me. Nothing would have stopped me from going to beauty school.
Yeah, it wasn't a question. Like, you were going to make it happen.
1,000%.
Yeah. So what was your career path after beauty school? Did you go into a salon? Because I know we'll talk about your owning a salon in a second, but
Yes.
what did you do after beauty school?
So after beauty school, I worked for a gentleman called Peter Thomas, and he was an English hairdresser, and I started off as an assistant. And I had an amazing education there, and I pay so much homage to him because of I was an education-based salon. And so then I worked for him for a long time, and I opened my own salon years later. And yeah, that was it. But I loved that I had a great education being an assistant first, because I feel like there's so much. And I mean, and I guess in modern language, we would call it more as an apprenticeship or anything else like that, or an associate, I guess I should say.
So when you were, you said that when you opened your salon, it was very education focused, which I think is so awesome. What year did you open? Like, when did you open a salon? Like, do you remember how long you were in the industry before you went out on your own?
To be honest with you, I don't even remember how long it was, because I've had several different salons. So the first one I'd probably bought into a salon maybe about 5 years into my career.
Wow.
Yeah.
I mean, that's early.
It was, but I was very passionate about it. And there was nothing that was going to stop me. In fact, my business that I opened in Walnut Creek was the actual same building that it was when I was working for somebody else. So when they closed that shop is generally when I basically left and reopened the same salon.
That's so amazing. So you were a salon owner for a while, for a lot of your career. You were owning a salon. So also a single mom. So talk to me a little bit about what that was like having a daughter, raising her, what did this industry kind of allow you to do that maybe would have been different in a different industry for being a single mom? So for me, being a single mom, you have to prioritize, right? And so what was great about it was that I did have a salon that I ran every single day, and I had a summit salon, right? And so it had a lot of different systems that were put in place that also allowed me to travel. And I used to, and I still do, travel all over and educate for like Redekn, right? So it helped me do everything that I wanted to do. And why it offered me so much is because I feel like I was actually able to do more of what I could do. So I would, and I don't want to get crazy about what I did, my goals for my daughter. Yeah. But what I did have to do was I really wanted her to have the gift of going to college. And so I banked all the money that I made on the road to make sure that I could pay for her college. Wow. So all of that was so intentional. And I think that probably meant a lot more to you when you went out, when you had that purpose, you had identified that early. I think that that's so awesome. And so she actually just graduated from college. Yes. So you did it. You made that happen, which is so great. Did you talk to her about that? About being this is why I'm going? I mean, I'm sure she was young, and you don't want to be I'm leaving because I'm going to make money for you. But was that a conversation that maybe happened? It happened later. Yeah. And it probably didn't even happen until after she graduated. During college, probably that's when it started to happen, because really when they're kids, you love your kids more than anything. Yeah. And they pull on your heartstrings completely when you're gone. So I did have that conversation later, and now she appreciates it, but she appreciates it more because she has no college debt
and her friends are still having college debt.
Yeah. That's so amazing. And so the beauty industry allowed you to do that. I think that that's so special. I think the narrative is changing now for sure. I think it's not as like, I don't think we need to be like screaming about it as much as I do feel like we needed to maybe 10 years ago, 5 years ago. But like now people see that you can make money in this. This is such a special story of a way that you like really made money, really gave a life to your daughter, like really had a goal in mind of something that you wanted to do. So you were educating for Redekn. When did that start? When did you become an educator?
So I did my first show in 1988,
which
I'm going to give away my age here shortly. And I worked for a different manufacturer, and I worked for them for like 14 years. Then I followed with one of my sister brands, which is Purology, and I worked for them for like 16 years. And then the last 5 years is when I've really been working with Redekn.
What was it like being on stage? Like, do you remember like it's on stage in the 80s? Like what was happening at that time? Like what were the shows like?
The shows were huge and big, and there was hair flying. It was like, it was more of a show than education.
Yeah.
And I think that was crazy. And I feel like education now has become so much more detailed as education. So there's entertainment and then there's also education.
But at that time, it was a lot more like show. Like it was a lot more production and
totally.
Do you remember some of the looks you did? Like, can you think back and be like, I remember this stage, or is it just like all a blur because you had so much going on?
No,
like,
I can remember the Seattle show. That was really awesome. And I can remember like, and first off, I was like younger a lot more. And so like I had like these shorts on, jacket, and we were like kicking hair out like with the razor. It was just like all big show. I mean, there was definitely education behind it, but it was just more fun. Then also like when I was in Calgary in Canada, that was awesome because we had like smoke machines that were coming out. And again, full on entertainment. And the models
were like a rock star. Like literally like people, and even like stylists now or like students will say like, and want to be like, they want to do that and they see people on stage doing this. So like, I mean, you were, especially at that time, like people followed these shows and really went and like knew you know, and like you really were like rock stars in the industry.
It was fun. It was a lot of fun.
Yeah.
I loved it. And I got to see so much of the world too.
Yeah.
I mean, I went as far as New Zealand getting to share tips and tricks about the industry.
Yeah.
So
that's such a different perspective that I just don't think that people are always shown or that they even know about. Because I think a lot of, if you're not in the beauty industry, right, like your perspective of the beauty industry is sitting in the chair as a client. Like there's so much more that people just have no idea about or don't even know that this opportunity exists. So do you encourage young stylists now to do what you did and really come into this on the education side to be able to travel?
So I definitely am always on the lookout for people that I feel like that want to do the extra mile with education. And like, that's part of it because we love to build our network. However, like I love going into a regular salon and really teach there. And I feel like I encourage them to do everything to make them have their best life. And that's one of our mottos is to learn better, to live your best life. So I feel like with that being said, we're always just trying to help hairdressers understand what they can do. That this career is amazing. The beauty professionals can make as much money as they want because the more you put into it, the more you're going to get from it.
Yeah. I really like your story. And I think you in particular have had so many different roles and you've seen so many different sides and so many different experiences in the industry that I think that the knowledge that you're able to share now going in, it changes if there is a young educator like just out of the program, right? Like they've just become a Redekn educator. Like they're going to have a different perspective, but you've seen so many different sides of it that I think that that's so valuable for young stylists. I just think that you have a very unique perspective. And I'm excited to like talk about that. I just think it's awesome. And I think it like really encompasses you as a person. So it's really cool.
Thank you. But I'm not going to lie though. Every time that we have somebody new coming in, we learn every day from them as well.
Totally.
So, and I feel like that's the best thing about education is that you continue to learn and learn and learn and learn.
Yeah. We're going to take a quick break from the podcast to hear a word from our sponsors. Today's sponsor for this episode is LEAD. LEAD is the first degree designed with beauty professionals in mind. To create future professionals and leaders for this fast-growing industry, Rolfs has partnered with L'Oreal, Arizona State University, and Mesa Community College, and is proud to launch the first ever college and university degree designed specifically with beauty professionals. It's time to acknowledge the level of impact beauty professionals have in our lives. Every year, an individual consults with a beauty professional over 48% more than a physician.
This is why advancing the accredited education of beauty professionals is our mission. LEAD is shaping the future of beauty by developing the minds and expanding the intellect of beauty professionals who maintain and restore our self-expression and well-being. For more information, visit leadinstitute.degree today. The folks at Access, L'Oreal's online destination for professional education, are ready to kick off the holidays. Because they love cosmetology students so much, they're launching a holiday promotion just for you. It's called Haul for the Holidays, and trust me, it's a haul like no other. And what's even better is that it couldn't be easier to participate. So here's how it works. Starting on November 1st, you will log into L'Oreal Access, complete the Haul for the Holidays learning plan, which has been curated just for students, so they can learn about different L'Oreal professional hair care and color brands. And then you'll hop over to L'Oreal's Level Loyalty Rewards site and enter to win the Ultimate Stylist Starter Kit. 100 students will win the holiday haul containing prizes like a mannequin head, a carbon comb, tint brushes, mixing bowls, super cute capes and aprons, towels, a ton of full-size L'Oreal products, and so much more. Then 10 lucky winners will get all of that plus enough level points to redeem for a nice set of shears or a Dyson hairdryer. Typically, you have to earn points on level by buying L'Oreal products, but with Haul for the Holidays promotion, you have the chance to get them for free. How insane is that? Students will have just until before the end of November to complete it. So make sure you're signed up for both L'Oreal Access and L'Oreal Level Loyalty Rewards program. More info is on its way, but go ahead and get excited. This is about to be a happy holiday indeed. Now let's get back to the episode.
What is, I know that I'm putting you on the spot here, but what is like your favorite thing about all of the different sides, all the different things that you've done in the industry? Where's your heart? Like, where is your favorite thing?
If I had to my favorite thing is really education. And it's not education about like tips and tricks of doing hair. It used to be that way, but now it's education of really, I love to see light bulbs go off, and I love to see when people can make a career out of this versus having it, quote, just a job, because really this is an amazing career that you can have. And I love that I know that I'm helping people.
Well, you've done it. And so I think it's not just like, oh, hey, Redekn paid somebody to come in and tell or like the salon has paid this person to come in and say this. Like, you've lived it, and you are able to show like what a great life that you can have from doing all of these things. And if there is somebody that's like, I want to do that, I'm sure when you go into salons, or I'm not sure like how often it happens, but I'm sure there are times that they're like, hey, how do I get connected? Or they message you after or whatever, like, I want to do what you're doing, like, how do I get into that? Do you get to teach people here that you've like met in their salons when you've taught?
Yeah, 1,000%. Cool. And like this, where we're at today, the Redekn Exchange is amazing. This is like the pillar of education. So when all the new inductees come in, it's amazing because they get to be here on Fifth Avenue in New York.
Yeah, and you get to see like the excitement for them, and it's so contagious. So I think that that's what keeps like people that have been in the industry for a while. Like, I think that's what keeps us excited and wanting them to experience all of these things, because you get to see that, like that look on their face where they're so happy, and it just like feeds you, I think.
Yeah, and they're so thirsty for education too, right? Everybody wants to learn and learn and learn and learn. So that makes me happy when I see that.
Well, I love that. Well, there's one more thing that I want to talk about with you. So you are actually in the LEAD program right now. So the LEAD program is a program where you can actually earn your bachelor's degree in a beauty industry focused way. So classes are specific to the beauty industry. There's really nothing else like this. So this is something that's so new, and I think a lot of people don't know about it yet. So I'm really excited to talk to you kind of about what your experience has been. And I think the best thing about the program is they actually honor and value your hours that you have earned in cosmetology school. So that is credited towards what you're earning. So let's talk about LEAD. So how did you first learn about the LEAD program?
So L'Oreal put out an email and they talked about that you could actually get that you can get educated, right? Mm-hmm. And so what happened was I sent back the email with a few questions and then I let it sit for just a little tiny bit because I wasn't really, I mean, think about it. I'm, you know, like I've been in my career. I've owned a salon. I've done everything under the sun. And I don't want to say I've done everything under the sun, but I've done a lot.
Done a lot. Yeah, absolutely.
Think about going back to school was kind of hard, right? And so I just let it rest. And then the opportunity came up again. And I thought, you know what? I cannot let this pass me by because the more I understood it, the better it was. So I've been doing full-time school and full-time work. And if I have to brag for a little bit, I have straight A's.
Yay! Oh my gosh.
Never in my life have I ever had straight A's.
That's awesome. So you get to do it virtually.
Yes.
So all the classes, are they broken up into semesters or what? How is the structure, the schedule laid out? Is it kind of you get to go at your own pace or?
So you can go at your own pace because LEAD has a lot of different ways to do it. However, I am chosen to do full time. And so I've done straight one semester and then we had a little bit of a break and I did a second semester and now I'm in summer school.
Yeah. I've known you 2 seconds and I'm not surprised that this is how you did it.
Oh my God.
I'm going to go ahead and just get it. Like I'm going to do it. I'm going to jump in like head first. I love that.
It's so amazing though. And I'm in a cohort with a lot of different people, you know.
Yeah.
And it's really been great.
So what is that like? Actually, I haven't even talked about this yet or thought about this yet. So because it's virtual and you're not in a class, you're still with other people that are in the beauty industry. So what is the range of like positions in the industry amongst like, I guess with the people that you're with?
Okay. So we have people that are just out of school, beauty school. And then we have people that are directors that are in there. And it's been really cool. And the greatest thing is because we get to see each other's faces online. And so I feel like I really actually know all of these people that are in my class.
Yeah.
And the greatest thing about it is that they've handpicked for us. And that, I mean, with that, we have everything that has to do with what we need to learn to make it relevant to what we're doing today.
Yeah.
You know, so like my favorite class was communications because that's what we do every single day is communicate with people.
Yeah.
So
what are some of the other classes that you've taken?
So we took like a social media marketing, which is super relevant to what we do also. Communications. Right now I'm taking a nutrition course. And English. And I feel like a lot of that's been really had an impact on my job because I feel like I can communicate better and I can storyline things a lot quicker so I can get to my point faster.
Yeah. So even doing this LEAD program, like it's helping your career. Like it's helping what you're doing in the salons every day. And I think that we were talking before and you were just saying even the way that you're teaching is a little bit different because you said before we started recording, like you did a project this morning. Like, like you were working on a project before. So when you go into a salon or wherever you're teaching at, you know, you have already done some of a LEAD program and you're carrying that into what you're doing too, which I think is so cool that you're getting to like mix both of those things.
Yeah. It's super positive too, because not only do I have school, but then I meet with LEAD themselves and it's really forward thinking and it's really like working on being personally grounded as well. So you can do all this together because we know like there's no way I could go to school full time, work full time if I wasn't getting more and more grounded like myself as a person.
Yeah. It's not two separate worlds either. Like it all is kind of like commingling together also. How much time do you think per week are you dedicating to earning this degree?
So I'm not going to lie to you. It is a lot because I'm doing it full time. So I would say that when I'm in school full time, it's like 4 classes. I take like 12 to 13 units per semester. And so, like I said, this morning at 6 a.m., I was already watching something that I knew that I was going to write on a little bit later. So I would say at least a couple hours a day. There's not a day that I don't look at my schoolwork. Wow.
Yeah. So it's a commitment, but like you said, there are different options and different ways that you can do it to make it work for your schedule.
1,000%.
You're just you're dedicated.
Yeah, I'm dedicated and because I wanted to, and we're going to finish. So I've only been in school there'll be 1 year this summer and I'm going to get my AA. So yeah, this summer August 18th. I'm super happy.
Awesome. Yeah, that's amazing.
Yeah, I know.
What have the educators been like in the LEAD program? What have your professors been like there? Have you made some good connections? Have you like really connected with them?
Yeah, I love them because they make it personal for us.
Mm-hmm.
So, like our art class was beautiful and it was art history. So it's, I mean, a lot of them are still hard. Like, and I thought art was going to be like a breeze, but it really wasn't. It was art history.
Yeah.
And I learned so much, but they've been really accommodating to us. And the cool thing about it is, I mean, for us, we're all artists anyway. So that was really great. I loved communications because like I said, that was like the main thing for me is to really learn, like there's so much culturally that we know about, like, and where does that come from? And then how would you not offend somebody? And so it's really, I learned a lot and how I started to present to other people too with that. So yeah, it's been really good. I'm trying to think about anything. English was really awesome. And, social media marketing clearly was good.
Yeah. It's just such an important piece of the industry now. So it's good that you're getting that. And so, obviously it's awesome that you had this opportunity at this point in your career. Would you recommend, is this suitable for anyone, any position in the industry, any like age, anything?
Yes. I think that, the missing link in our industry, because I've been in it for so long and I've been exposed to a lot of people, is the education aspect of it. Because a lot of times what happens is like you can be the best hairdresser, beauty professional in the world, but there's a missing link to how we get to success.
Yes.
And I feel like with a little bit more education, a little more, and let's face it, school also gives you discipline. I mean, in order to do good in school, you have to be disciplined. And that's part of life too. Yeah. So how do we learn to save money? That finance class that we took was amazing because that's the number one thing. We have so many people that don't know what to do after they make the money. And if you get a lot of cash, you know, I'm a big advocate of like reporting everything because it's part of your living, right? And it helps you buy your house. It helps you buy your car. It helps you get everything you want to do that. But I don't think that that's been stressed a lot.
Yeah.
Prior to right now.
Yeah.
For education.
Yes.
I could get on a tangent on that.
No, I love that. I mean, I think it's really good to see what is needed. And that's what I think is so awesome about what you're doing. Is like you're in the industry and you're learning. So you're able to be like, no, this is what we need. Like that, you're the exact person that we need to identify those topics that we're missing. And I think especially, you know, being in beauty school, it's like, okay, you know, like we've introduced like business classes and all of that stuff because you know, we see that there's a need, but it's these kinds of conversations that are going to make it better because we all can improve and be better. And I think that just these conversations are important to see where those missing pieces are because it's constantly changing. It's changing always of what we need to be doing better. So I think it's good to talk about it.
Too, right? Because honestly, I feel like right now, and we all know, and we were talking about it prior too, everyone's going right into a suite. Yeah. Like, what are they learning? How are they even getting into a suite? Because if you go out right now, post-COVID, a lot of the suites, there's like 3 people sharing one chair because there's not enough business to hold one suite together. Right. So where was the learning beforehand of really understanding how much money you need to make a profit, how much money it's going to cost to run your business? And even though it's one chair, it's a business is a business is a business. Yeah. So I really feel like that is like a huge missing link. Yeah. Well, that's awesome. And I think it's really cool that in LEAD, like you're able to learn these things that you're bringing back to, you know, the salons when you're in there. I think it's awesome. So, I want to say congratulations to you because I know that this has been, just such a big deal for you to be able to do this. I know it's a really important accomplishment in your life. So I know when we were talking before, like you felt like you needed this. You felt like you needed the bachelor's degree to say like, you know, professional in the industry isn't just beauty school. Yeah. And I also think not only is it like the education that I'm getting, it's also like, how can you share the wealth of this education? And really like, I want to use L'Oreal and my education background here to spread the wealth to the rest of the industry to really like, and it's always about raising the bar. Yeah. So that's so exciting. I love it. And I can't wait. Like I'll be like screaming congratulations, being so excited for you on August 18th when you get your, I know, right? When you get yourself, I'll be so pumped. So where can we follow you to see what you're doing and to kind of learn what you're learning also? I'm Sherilynn _Redekn. Okay. Awesome. So,
So we'll make sure we follow you. And thank you again so much for being here. I think what you're doing in this industry is so special. And I think you're like, we need you. And I think it's just so awesome that we're catching you at this point in your life. So I think you're only going like up from here. And I know you've been in the industry for a long time, but I feel like everything is moving in the right direction.
I'm going to go out of the industry with a high.
Yes, for sure. Awesome. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Bobbi. I appreciate it.
Thank you all so much for watching today, and thank you to L'Oreal Access and Lead. We are so excited for this partnership and hope you enjoyed this episode. If you did, share it with somebody that you think might like it too. Make sure you follow us at Beauty and Style Network on Instagram, and make sure you follow me at Beauty School Bobbi on YouTube. Make sure you subscribe, ring that bell so that you get notified when the episodes are coming out. Leave a comment down below, and we can't wait to see you next time. Bye, guys.